Hi, I'm Angela with Core Group Realty, and I'm here with John Flaherty from Flaherty Custom Homes today. And John, I've been working with you for a little while, and I'm so honored to get to do that. You have such a great reputation in our valley. You've been building here since 1995, some really amazing homes in lots of different price ranges for a lot of different people. And as far as I know, all those people are really happy in their homes. I've never heard anything bad about you. So what I want to know is a little bit more about your construction process. What kind of sets you apart from the other builders?
Well, first of all, thank you for taking your time to have an interview like this with me. And as far as building houses, I've been building houses since 1996. And a lot of the subs that I started with when I started in 96 are still with me. And that makes a big difference when you've got people that when you organize a house and you get it scheduled out ready to have something built and you can kind of push a button, and these guys know exactly what I want and they know what the other person in front of him and in back of them are going to do also. So one person isn't destroying the other person's work as they're trying to construct a house.
I think that's really great. I've been a subcontractor in the past, and dealing with the same people over and over again, it just made communication really easy and made that whole building process very simple. So it's great that you continue to work with the same guys.
Also, it does help when you've got people that understand what we build and they take the time to talk to the homeowners and express to their interests if they have something that they want to add or subtract to the house. Then it makes it very easy because they've done it so many times that it's routine for them.
You also work well with people with plans. That's one thing I love about you, is whether somebody comes in with an idea and they want to start it from scratch, or whether they have a plan sort of sketched out. You have an architect that you use frequently, and you can just kind of take their dream and create it from there.
Yes, I've got an architect that is a fully licensed architect, not just a draftsman, but a person that's been doing this for a living for 25, 30 years since first time I ever met him that he was an architect, and he does a great job as far as making things work so that the building department all the way through the whole process is acceptable and not just a hodgepodge set of plans.
And John, as we're sitting in front of one of your gorgeous fireplaces in one of your model homes, you do they are just immaculate finishes. The lighting package in this home is stunning. The cabinets, the floors, everyone who walks through here is just so fascinated by the whole entire home. Tell us a little bit about your interior finishes and how you accomplish that.
I think that most of the builders in this industry right now, including myself, thought back in the days of the 05, 06 that we really were pretty good at building houses, but we didn't realize that we could have sold about anything then. Nowadays, most of us are using interior designers. I use Helena's Interiors for my work, and she goes out and starts, when we start the house, and picks all the interior colors, all the light fixtures, the cabinets, the hardwood floors, the carpet, the tiles, and basically everything that you see when you walk in the house is done by a designer these days.
And is she available if someone comes to you and wants to build a home? Is she available to help
Absolutely.
them as well?
Yes, at a very low cost too. It isn't prohibited for you to use a person with her talent and her expertise in this type of work.
I found that some people, even those of us that are really good at putting those things together, it's nice to always have a second opinion. And then there's those of us that just can't put two things together to save our lives. So it's really great to have that as part of the building process, that you offer that to everyone.
As I said, as builders, we're good at building houses. I don't think we were designed to be interior designers, but with everybody put together as a package like this, we can create some very awesome products nowadays.
Now, you also do some really special things in the actual construction of your home. It's great to walk through a home and see all these gorgeous finishes, but there's a lot of hidden quality in this home that you can't see walking through. So some of those things I know, such as the outside, you kind of start with the concrete from the ground up. What are some of those things you do differently in your exteriors?
Well, the concrete, we do a lot of colored concrete. We do a lot of stamping. We add a fiber material to our concrete to lessen the amount of cracks that are naturally going to happen in concrete, because concrete does crack. And there's a lot of things as far as the exterior of the house, as far as the stucco, the stonework. We've worked with a company that has been in this valley doing work in the Treasure Valley here for many, many years, and he's very aware of the different climate changes that we have in this valley. And that probably has a lot to do with the fact of how the work is done and making sure that the longevity of the product is going to last. versus somebody that just comes up from, say, I wouldn't say just, you know, some of the southern parts of the country here and starts slapping stuff on a wall and doesn't realize that we have a 100-degree temperature change in summer to winter in this valley here.
Right, correct. How about your roofing? I know on this home it's a tiled roof, and I know the tiles themselves have a 75-year warranty, but you did some extra in installing those tiles that was a little bit above and beyond.
Well, when you're putting a 75-year roof on, the industry standards require you to put a 7/16 wafer underneath that product to hold it up, and we've upgraded that to a 5/8 thick material, which makes that roof about twice as strong that we're putting that product on. Plus, we've done a double layer of felt material, which is probably the most important part of the roof, is the felt underneath that tile roof. And from there, you've got a roof that'll probably last well over the 75 years that it's warranted for.
And I had some people laugh about that over the weekend because they said that roof will last longer than we will here. So
we all have kids that might be living in these houses too.
Also here in Idaho, you know, we do mostly crawl spaces on our homes. Tell us a little bit about your crawl spaces. You do a conditioned crawl space? Yes,
we do a conditioned crawl, which is something that we started doing probably 150 houses ago. And it starts out where you've taken a foundation with no vents anymore. So in other words, you don't have mice, you don't have the spiders, you don't have any of that stuff that's crawling down underneath your house anymore. You're taking the inside air of the house and you're conducting it through a vent system, through the crawl space, pulling it back out and exiting it through the outside air, which also takes any chances of radon gases that could possibly be in your crawl space and removing those also.
Right. And here we're sitting on a beautiful waterfront lot in the shores. A lot of people do have concerns in our area about water getting into that crawl space. How do you kind of prevent that?
Well, in a lot of subdivisions, not in this particular subdivision, but in smaller subdivisions where your houses are a little closer together, we, in the past, put a continuous type of a tube around the perimeter of the whole house, which is going to keep any moisture that comes up towards your house and is going to make it escape away. A lot of that is from people that are overwatering their lawns. Now, in a subdivision like the Shores, where you're on a compacted fill and you have half-acre lots, you don't nearly have the problem, so we don't see the need of it there. But in your smaller products, which we still build, we tend to do that still.
And another thing I know about your homes is you're very cautious about the grading of the dirt away from the home to also help prevent that moisture from staying away from the property.
It's a code that you're supposed to have a 5% grade away from the home before it comes back up to the property line, and all moisture is supposed to stay on your own particular lot and not go to the next door neighbors. That's something that is very easily overlooked by the building department, but we make a very concerted effort to make sure that this is the way that we build our houses.
And I have seen that in a lot of existing homes, so even though it's coded, it is, like you said, very easily overlooked. Talk about the appliances a little bit. You know, we have gorgeous stainless steel appliances in here. Tell us a little bit about the appliances that you normally put in the homes, or that you recommend.
This particular house, we put a KitchenAid product in it because we were really concerned with our price per square foot that we were building this house for. By going to, say, a Wolf package or something like that, we were adding like $4 or $5 per square foot just to the cost of the house to have that type of appliance package. The KitchenAid product that we put in here, I think, in my opinion, if I was to build a house for myself, I'd probably go with the KitchenAid, and probably I think the Wolf and the Viking are excellent appliances, but are more for a commercial application for a person that, and anymore, I think we out in restaurants a lot, that I think it's a lot of show and tell that we really, they're more functional, the KitchenAid product.
I agree. And windows, you have a new product in this house on the windows.
This is an Anderson FiberX product, which is their competitive line to work against the vinyl products that are out there in the world right now. The FiberX product is a type of material that we have like 5 different exterior colors that we can come into. It is a material that can withstand heat a lot more than the vinyl product. So in other words, it can probably go up to 160 degrees without any type of fading, warping, chipping, or anything like that, where a vinyl product at that point would start deteriorating. And with the direct sunlight on a bronze exterior framed window, if you have a temperature touch gauge, you'll see that your windows are getting up to that 140, 150 degree range on a normal sunny day in the summer.
Sean, a little bit about the HVAC system. Not a lot of people, especially us women, know much about the HVAC systems. Tell us a little bit about your high efficiency furnace. And
been in the Energy Star business that we've built most of our houses in the last 7 or 8 years. We've been required to upgrade our standards as far as the HVAC system, our heat and cooling system. And in this particular house, we've put 3 separate zones. So in other words, you've got a zone over on that side of the house that controls the 3 bedrooms, and you've got another zone in the middle of the house which controls your main living area, and then we have another zone on the other side which would be the master suite with its own separate office over there. And from there you can set different temperatures to each one of the zones, and we will maintain this house. This house is, well, last month, in the month of December, we were right at about $60 for the gas bill for this house at 3,610 square feet, which I think has a lot to do with the zones that we have got this house controlled with.
you brought up a little bit about Energy Star. Can you explain a little bit more about Energy Star certification and how that ties into the home, the requirements there?
Mm-hmm. It starts out where the gentleman that we hire comes in and does a full inspection when the insulation is being installed inside this house. He'll go through and he'll not only does the city do the inspection, but he comes in here and he makes sure that every last little nook and cranny has been properly insulated, and does his job. And when the house is completely finished and everything, he comes in here and does like a duct test thing, and he seals off all of the vents in the floor, and he puts a fan motor on one of the doorways, and he pushes the air from the inside of the house out into that and registers it at a certain vacuum type of thing. And with that, you can tell how tight this house has been built and how well the ducts are holding up, and also can let us know if there's any breaches of any kind of a duct system or cold air returns anywhere in the house. So it's a very good system, and you get a full certification when you're done with it, which shows that we've done everything that meets the energy standards, all the way to the light bulbs that have to be in here. There's a certain amount of those that have to be a different type of light fixture, etc., etc. So it's quite a little process.
One of the most amazing things on this home is the garage. It's hard to get pictures of a garage to really market that, but you do a fabulous garage, and I know you do a very unique garage door and garage door opener, and I know you love windows in the garage, which brings in a lot of great light, and a beautiful epoxied floor. Can you talk a little bit more about the garage door openers?
Well, the garage door openers are a series that we fell into that all Idaho doors had, and it's just almost silent when you open and close those doors. It's just a very high-end garage door opener, and I think a lot of people that live in houses that sometimes it'll almost wake the children up when you open that garage door, and these here are just absolutely just almost stone quiet. So
they are pretty silent. I opened it the other day and it was amazing. A
lot of people that came over here, I tell them the garage code to get into the keyless entry, and they'll push the button and think the door is not going up, even though it's like, oh, it is open. So yeah, it's quite nice.
It is. Well, thank you, John. I really appreciate that. I love learning about your homes, and if you guys need any more information on this home or how you can build a home with John Flaherty, give me a call. Again, my name is Angela May with Core Group Realty, and my number is 713-2755.
Thank you very much for your time, Angela.
Thank you.